Hi there, how's it going? This is Cross the Rubicon channel. I made a video earlier and I put it on Telegram. I couldn't get on YouTube for a whole day, so anyway, I put it on Telegram and I left it on Telegram. But this is more or less the same message but for YouTube. Now, in New Zealand, I am a controversial character who apparently upsets people because I ask the questions or say things that most people won't say. They think it. They talk about it in darkened rooms amongst friends, but they won't say it out loud. I say it out loud because it needs to be said out loud. The Maori party hate my guts. Maori elitists hate my guts. The media hate my guts and brand me what they brand me, which are the most disgusting names and lies. And the Maori say the same. It's all a part of shutting me down and scaring people into not supporting me. But this is where we are in New Zealand. I speak about the issues of New Zealand, and the issue of New Zealand, apart from all this kind of stuff, the big issue for New Zealand, and it's unique to New Zealand, is Hepuapua 3 waters, and how Maori elites, Maori super troughing, extremist supremacists, elites if you like, of iwi, of politicians, Maori politicians, are screwing this country. They're absolutely screwing this country, and they're lying. They're lying to everybody. They're going to take everything, and the government is in cahoots. And this comes down from the United Nations. The United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And the offset of that in New Zealand is the Hepuapua report, which was apparently brought about by the Mahuta family, Nanaya Mahuta and her family. No consultation with non-Maori. It's all about Maori and what they're going to get and what they're going to have and how New Zealand is going to be by 2040. I've read the report, I've read it, I've made videos about it. No one seems to want to read it. They call me all sorts, they call me all kinds of names. Even though they've not even read the report, they still call me a liar. If they just took the time to actually read it. This country is going to be handed over to iwi up and down this land. Just look at 3 waters. 3 waters, they're going to get the lakes, they're going to get the rivers, they're going to get the seas to 12 miles out, 12 nautical miles out, all around the coast of New Zealand. Maori are going to own them. Elite Maori. Not Maori in the street. I'm talking about the super troughing, supremacist, radical elite. Troughers, if you like. And they are going to be worth billions. Every inch of land in this country, every single inch, even the land you own your house on. You bought and paid for your house. You've worked all your life to own your house, your 10 acres, your quarter-acre section, your sheep station up in the Southern Alps somewhere. Maori are coming for it. And you think they're not? They are going to come for it. Me saying this is controversial and they call me all sorts. The media won't report on it because they're paid not to report on it. They're paid $105 million a year by Jacinda Ardern not to report on any of these issues. So the media are compromised. The media are not a free media in New Zealand. There's not one single journalist that's reporting this. There's a bloke I watched last week. His name was Julian Batchellor, and he's up in the far north somewhere. I won't say where, but he's up the far north. And he gave a great speech. Look him up, Julian Batchellor. And he says much the same as what I'm saying. Now I know he's going to be doing a tour soon enough around New Zealand, spreading his message of what is happening to New Zealand while you're all asleep. And what the government are doing behind your back. The government alongside radical extremist Maori. The United Nations was set up, I think, in the late 1940s to prevent countries, nations, from going to war again, like First and Second World War. And they were not to interfere in nations' internal politics. But they have, with this declaration, United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And I'll say it again and again and again. Maori are not indigenous to New Zealand. They came here in the 13th century by boat. That is not indigenous. It means they came here before the British, but it does not make them indigenous. In fact, they ate the Tana Te Whenua, a title they stole. Tana Te Whenua, people of the land. They were cannibalised, massacred and cannibalised. Well, especially the men, by the Maori. Now this is an uncomfortable truth, but Maori now class themselves as indigenous, and indeed the media call them indigenous, politicians call them indigenous, and if you don't call them indigenous, and you don't call Aotearoa, or New Zealand Aotearoa, and Auckland Tamaki Makaurau, or Christchurch Otatahi, if you don't do that now, that means you're racist. Well, class me as racist then, because I'm not going to use those terms. New Zealand is New Zealand, as far as I know. As far as the world knows, it's New Zealand. Christchurch is Christchurch, and Auckland is Auckland. Wellington is Wellington. But now, as you know, if you're watching the news every night, I think you're mad if you watch the news every night, because I don't watch it. I can't stand it. It just does my head in watching it. You'll know that Maori Te Reo, as they call it, Maori language, is being rammed down your throat, with many, many words being completely made up. Completely made up. And it's being rammed down our throats, and we can't say nothing about it. We're not even allowed to question anything Maori do. Otherwise, they'll jump on us and crush us. They'll brand anybody who stands up, puts their head above the parapet, as a white supremacist and racist. And the media will do the bidding of radical extremist Maori, because radical extremist trougher supremacist Maoris right at the very top of the tree are very, very, very wealthy. And how are they wealthy? They're wealthy through taxpayers' money over decades, being given to them hand over fist. Not only taxpayers' money, but vast tracts of hundreds of thousands of acres of land, never mind the sea, just given to them by successive governments for nothing, absolutely nothing. It was never theirs in the first place. They stole it from somebody else, and then they played the victim card ever since. New Zealand is in a real pickle, because people are too scared to look for the truth and find the truth. The truth is in the Hepuapua report. Just look it up, Google it, read it, download it, study it, because it's all there. And words that are in it, Maori words, they'll be interpreted by Maori to mean whatever they want to mean. And that's the whole point of it. They can say whatever they want it to say, whatever they want. I don't know, any old word, whatever. Okay, I'm taking a piss. But they can say that means anything. Oh, that word that no one can understand, no one on the planet can understand. They said, oh no, that means we have ownership of the forests and the seas and the lakes and the rivers and the rain and the snow. We own the air you breathe. That's what that word means. And this is what is happening in New Zealand, people. And people swallow it because people don't want to be called racist. Well, myself, Lee Williams, crossed the Rubicon. Julian Batchellor. I would have to say Terry Opines too, although he does his own thing. We stand up and we say it. We're three of the very few. There's a few others, but they concentrate on other stuff. But I'm concentrating on the Hepuapua Three Waters, because that's unique to New Zealand, pardon me. And it's dangerous. It could cause civil conflict in this country. It really could. Maybe that's what they're driving to. Maybe that's why they're only recruiting, well, the vast majority of young men into the military nowadays in Maori. I don't know. You tell me in the comments. But anyway. Oh, yesterday I went down to the Huranui river mouth. Got to the river mouth, and right there in the middle of nowhere, there was a big post there with CCTV cameras looking at the sea, looking at the beaches. CCTV cameras looking at the beaches. And I thought that was strange. And just begs the question, why? Is it fisheries? Looking at people fishing? What's it looking at? Mainly CCTV cameras that you'd see in London or Birmingham or something like that. Looking at a beach? You tell me what they're for, because I don't know. Is it Nayatahu making a statement? Soon we're going to own these beaches, and soon we're going to find people for walking on them. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it's going to prevent watching people and stopping them from escaping New Zealand one day. Who knows? Who knows? 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years? Are people going to try to escape New Zealand? Because I tell you what, if this country goes down the same way as South Africa and Zimbabwe, you try and escape this country with any money, they won't let you go. They'll keep your money in this country. This country, this New Zealand, is falling into a Marxist state, a totalitarian state. And you'll want to leave, but you won't be able to take any of the money you've earned over all your life. You won't be able to take it with you, because it'll go to iwi, and your land will go to iwi. Maori will own everything, anything, because you failed to do anything about it. And you call people like me, and Julian, Batchellor, and Opines, many others, you called us racists instead. And you will sow, you will sow what you caused by doing nothing. You're not doing your children or your grandchildren any favours, I'm telling you that. Okay, this is Cross the Rubicon. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and share this video everywhere. See you later.